Alright guys, I already know when it comes to global, you guys are wondering to yourself like, yo Marilli, how do I build LR MILIM? What are the best teams for my account? And I'm going to discuss that all today, as we're going to be discussing pretty much right now. This MILIM is super broken, alright? She's probably one of the top tier meta characters right now in PP at the moment. Now we don't know if the next festival will counter her or even make her stronger, so who knows? But as we speaking right now, she is literally the meta. 99% of teams right now on JP are using MILIM in some way possible. And that's because right now, if you don't know, her Holy Relic pretty much allows her to be strong against any character. That means even if the character is blue, she will still do super effective damage against them. I know, that's pretty insane. All right, if they light and dark, it's still super effective damage. She just that broken. And then you also have her you also have her passive as well. Now, if you don't know what her passive does, we pretty much got a little bit of translations, and it is a long one, boys. So at the start of battle, applies 2 stacks of Dragon Might and applies protection of the dragon to the hero for 3 turns. And for every Dragon Might applied to a hero, increase allies defense related stats by 20%. An ally uses a skill, or if the hero gets damaged by the enemy skill during enemy turn, remove 1 stack of Dragon Might. In addition, every Dragon Might is removed from the hero, increase all stats of the hero by 7% up to 28%. And if all stacks of Dragon Might is removed, applies Dragon Fury for 3 turns. And if Dragon Fury gets removed, apply 2 stacks of Dragon Might again, which is crazy. And protection of the dragon, decrease the allies damage taken from a single target skill by 40%. And the hero becomes immune to stat decreasing debuffs. So she can't even be stat lord. And then when all stacks are removed, applies Dragon Fury, which Dragon Fury is 40% attack related stats, ignores 100% of critical resistance, and deals additional damage equal to 40% of damage dealt as final damage when using all target skills. And then we also have her cards, which is afflicts Annihilate, damage equal to 5% attack on a single enemy. Annihilate is 3 times pierce rate, ignores enemy defense for every Dragon Might applied to a hero, and then increase critical chance by 50% and damage dealt by 30%. And then she has her AoE, which is the most broken thing, which is inflict storm damage equal to 250% attack to all enemies. And storm damage is ×2 critical damage, ignores enemy resistance for every Dragon Might applied to hero, and then increased damage dealt by 50% when it's a gold card. And again, it's more, all right? It's god dang more, man. Scroll down. Her ultimate, apply Dragon Fury to the hero for 3 turns and inflict storm damage equal to 525% attack on all enemies. And then when the hero is participating in battle, if an ally dies during the enemy turn by the enemy skill usage, or if the enemy dies by the hero skill usage for every dead unit, apply 1 stack of Dragon Rampage for 3 turns, stack up to 6 times. And if you don't know, this is the more broken thing, because Dragon Rampage increases the damage dealt with single targets by 50% and deals additional damage equal to 100% of the enemy increased HP, and your damage is fixed to 1. Yeah, your damage is fixed to 1. So if you see a flame buff on her, that means your next attack will be 1 damage. Crazy. And then it gets removed. And every time the hero uses a skill or it gets damaged by enemies during enemy turn, remove 1 stack of the buff. So as you can read, she does a lot. All right, and because she does a lot, she is super broken. All right, she's a goddamn Yu-Gi-Oh card. It already took me like 5 minutes to read all that. I know, it's crazy. So yeah, and then like I said before, with our Holy Relic, she is super effective against anyone. I know, it's crazy. And this is going to be the gear you want to use, which is attack crit damage. That's what most players use, is attack crit damage. But again, I know how it is in PvP, where you want to go first all the time. So some players go with HP/defense or HP crit damage. But then again, you will have unfortunate moments where you're just not going to do enough damage, and that could cost you the match depending on whatever team you're running. So we're going to discuss those type of teams. Again, I'm gonna let you know what teams really need that attack crit damage, what team really doesn't. Again, because there's some teams there, they can just pretty much just stall you out if they really need to, and don't really need to have all that attack. And then there's some teams that can just nuke you regardless. So we're gonna be discussing that. Ooh, that took a lot out of me, man. Yo, you should like and subscribe right now for me reading all that. So right now we got two characters. These are the two characters that you're gonna most likely be using when using MILIM. Again, Nanashi can be replaced with Camilla, the green one. Again, she pretty much does almost the same thing as Nanashi. A lot of players like to use her instead, especially if they have dupes, just because you're going to get better CC if you're using her. But again, it all depends on if you have dupes on that Camilla. So I'm going to start off with the free-to-play builds, or the go second players. All right, because I know a lot of players, they don't have enough CC and stuff like that. So they want to know, like, yo, Marilli, what is the best go second teams? Because again, their box CC is kind of underwhelming. So if you don't know right now, this is going to be the best team if you would like to go second. So it will feature Balder, unfortunately. You got Balder, and then you also have Raphtalia. Where is she? Where is she? Which Raphtalia is a free character. And you want to switch your links. So you want to make your MILIM real-time your link. You want to have Balder either have I guess you can have Sariel, or you want to do Ludociel. I know sometimes Ludociel you'll have Sobnok players, and then, you know, for your Raphtalia you want to do like Mael link, just so she does extra damage. And then you want to swap your artifact card sets to a more damaging one for Balder, and this will allow Balder to pretty much nuke any character. This is the best one for the God card set. And this will allow Balder to nuke because you have so much defense on your character, and you want to use like defense food, and then nobody's going to want to attack you. Again, this is the more seen go second type of team, and it's super annoying because Balder just nukes, and then every time he hits you with his his counter or his single target, he's giving your team more basic stats. So not only is Balder hitting with crazy amounts of counters, but he also giving you base stats for your MILIM, so MILIM can even pop off. And that's why I say it in like one of my videos, because I did a video featuring this team. If you want to go check that out, is that this is going to be the best go second team because Balder hits so hard, and you also have MILIM to play against those demons. Because you could run, theoretically, you could run Balder without MILIM, and you could just use Green Hawk Oslo, or even I think Sobnok is also really good. But you usually want to try to do Green Hawk Oslo because he gives you like 50% more defense. But the problem is when you use Green Hawk Oslo, you're going to lose against demons. And again, I want you guys to avoid lose against demons, because you're going to come in my comments and complain that you're losing against demons. But MILIMs, you should beat them if you're using Green Hawk Oslo. Just letting you know. And okay, so the next team featuring MILIM, another go second team, is the Ult Rush team. I know Ult Rush is cringe, but you gotta do what you gotta do, man, in PvP. So we got Ult Rush right here, and you want to use Liz, and then you want to put Albedo, and then you want to use Green Merlin. This one, where is she at? And then you want to put real-time your link on Albedo. Now again, this is so you put pressure on your enemy, and then they're not gonna want to attack you at all. And then you put Sariel. And this will apply pressure to your enemy, and now they ain't gonna want to attack you at all because they are afraid of you getting your ultimate. But because you're using Ult Food and Merlin, who gives you an additional gauge, and you're most likely gonna go second, you're going to start off with 3 gauge, which then means your MILIM is gonna have a good chance on ulting and then nuking the enemy. So this is a really good going second team when you dealing with Ult Rush players, and also Balder. Like Balder, you can force Liz somehow. Well, there's some ways you can force Liz to attack if she gets like her I think it's her silver AoE, and then Balder will just nuke Liz, and then you get your ultimate right then and there, and then you also get a Dragon Might for your MILIM as well, and then boom, you have your ultimate right there, which is very easy of cheesing. I know, it's pretty cool. Do you need to use this artifact card set? No, you can use something else. You can even use the regular HP one with the highest CC, and you'll be fine. Or, you know, you can even go with this artifact card set, this one, and it have a little bit more additional HP for your unknown characters, which is also really good. And then, okay, so that is going to be the best go second teams if you are running MILIM. So for all you free-to-players, those are your, or free-to-play or casual players, Those are going to be your 2 teams if you want to run them going second. Now we're going to be cutting to the more whale side, or you know, the higher box CC side of the LR MILIM teams. So hopefully you guys got that. I wanted to do the casual players first, because now we're about to go into the whale side, and this can where it can be a little bit tricky, because again, there are so many teams you can run with MILIM, but these are going to be the ones that I generally see. The first one is going to be with Sabnock. Now Sabnock can be with almost any team or any character. Most players use Nanashi or Camilla. Again, it all depends on who has the highest CC. Either your Nanashi has the higher CC or your Camilla. In Sabnock, there's some teams people use UR Gother. I do have a video using UR Gother, and pretty much you just having Sabnock stay there with her taunt. You rank up with Gother, and then MILIM just pops off and nukes with her AoE, because you're gonna have enough to get your Dragon Fury, and you're just gonna nuke. Again, I already have a video on that if you want to check that out. That is going to be the Sabnock team. This is the main one because you're featuring 2 UR characters, and then you also have MILIM, who has super high CC. So this is going to be the highest CC team if you are using MILIM. Now there's a but team, okay? So remember what I said before, where you can use HP crit damage on your MILIM sometimes? Yeah, a lot of players are using Narbarel. I know from Overlord. Now Narbarel, again, she's gonna boost your attack based on how many unknowns are on the field, and then you also have the shock, so you can deal additional damage as well. And this is where you're allowed to pretty much use any type of gear you want on MILIM. Most people will use like the HP crit damage set, because you already gaining so much attack with Narbarel. It kind of allows you, your Narbarel and your MILIM team, to pretty much nuke whoever. And what's even worse is because you're using Sabnock, you can get some crazy seals with Sabnock. You gotta remember, Sabnock is able to randomly seal an AoE or single target, or even stun your characters. And those stuns and seals could make or break your team, especially if they get a AoE seal on your MILIM, because MILIM isn't immune to debuffs. She's only immune to stat lowering. So that's why a lot of players do use this type of team featuring Narbarel, because again, it is really powerful, especially when you go first. But again, that's only if you go first, really. And yeah, there's some other teams people like to use. You know, Demiurge is one of them too. Like, some people like to use Demiurge in that spot as well. Again, you have a lot more damage. It all depends on which one you summon for the collab. I know some people also like to use Rimuru, because Rimuru now got an LR version of himself. He now has a lot more CC, and then you can do a more so infect play when it comes to MILIM, which is really good. What other teams are there? There's some other cool ones. There's nothing really like too meta once you go past these Sabnock teams. Anything else, it becomes like whatever. Like, you can just mix and match characters and stuff like that. Sometimes I see people using Thor with Sabnock as well. Sometimes you might see Thor, Fatoria, or sometimes you might see Narbarel, Demiurge. Again, this is where we start mix-matching these characters and stuff like that to whatever you like to use. Sometimes they use Narbarel and Gother. There's just so many combinations you can run with MILIM, because MILIM is not even restricted towards unknowns, by the way. MILIM can work with any type of team, but because they want the most damage out of MILIM, you're most likely going to see her with unknowns. So yeah, that is going to be most of the teams. I think we already went through the gears and stuff like that for whatever you want to use for MILIM. Again, most players I see use attack crit damage because they're using that Boulder team, but I already know a lot of people like to go first. So yeah, you can go with an HP set. I guess you guys can look at my HP set right here. Again, it's not a good one, and you can see my CC right now. I'm at 75k, but she can go up to 76k. Again, I only have 4 or 6, so I'm missing like 800k, 800 something CC. So if I get 2 more dupes, I can get up to 76k. And again, I'm not even using perfect gear. So yeah, she has a lot of CC. She has a lot of CC you can work with. Yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty much all the teams really that I've seen people use in PvP. Like I said before, most players can mismatch. Sometimes they want to use Hail, but Hail isn't really that, you know, that good. They just use her for most likely CC and, you know, the debuff. Yeah, that's gonna be all the teams from what I've seen. Again, like I said before, when the Nashi, people like to swap up for Camilla if you really want to. It all depends on your CC though. But again, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe again, and good luck on your summons when it comes to LR MILIM. I know this video is pretty much a little bit of a rant video, especially because I'm just going over the teams, but this could help you out because again, I know a lot of players are wondering what teams to use. So I'm glad I went with the free-to-play / casual go second teams first, just so you guys don't, just so you guys already know like what to expect when it comes to PvP. Because those teams that I showed you guys that was go second, they are very popular, especially the Boulder team. That team is very, very popular in PvP right now on JP. So keep a lookout for that team. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Millie guys, I'm out. Peace.